All right, welcome back. What we want to do is talk a little bit about who you are. I see in your bio that you are a native of Macon County, Alabama, and deeply rooted in this community. Can you tell me something about your background?
Yes, and I'm proud to do so. As you said, I was born and raised here in Macon County in a small community called Armstrong, which is in the south part of the county. I am a member of a family of 11 children my mother and father had. I'm child number 10. The baby boy was born, he was a stillbirth, so I was raised as the baby of the family. And growing up in that rural environment, I learned a lot about family values, and definitely learned a lot about working in teams with people, because the family that large, we were required to work together.
I understand.
My mother was one of 17, and my father was one of 6.
Okay.
So we have a large family, to say the least. And went on from being a child growing up to elementary school at Cotton Valley Elementary School. It was from grades 1 through 8 at one time, and then 1 through 6. So at 7th grade, I then matriculated to South Macon High School in Roebuck. Graduated there and was out of school for a little while. I was a teen mother, had my only child, a son, Reginald Kareem, and went from there to Tuskegee University as a student. Had a break in that, and then went back to school after working a few years and completed Tuskegee in marketing as a business major. From there, I went to law school at Texas Southern University, Thurgood Marshall School of Law, and had offers to stay there, but my thought about being back at home was a strong calling for me, because I wanted so much to come back and give back to those who had given to me. And so I did that, despite the fact that I had offers, to remain in Texas. I'm truly vested in this community. I've lived here now for over 40 years, because even when I went to law school, I remained a resident of this community. And of course, law school was only 3 years, so that went by pretty quickly. Came back here, set up my practice, which is almost 20 years now that I've been practicing law in this community. I have helped a lot of people over the period of time, and I enjoy what I do. I think that kind of gives a nutshell. And beyond that, I want to, because I do feel that the commitment that I have is so strong, is why I am seeking to return to the City Council. And I look at the background of my parents in this community as well. My mother's cousin, Mr. John T. Hollis, was one of the first students at Tuskegee University.
1881.
In 1881.
Wow, that's some
one of those students that helped to build the bricks to make the bricks that built the buildings at Tuskegee. And my father's oldest sister, Clara Mapson, was one of the students in 1881, the first students at Tuskegee. And so I feel that, not only am I vested for myself, but for my family. I truly believe that even in looking at that part of the history, that they are edging me on to do more and to give back to this community because of what not only I've done in my past, but for what they did in their past.
Well, I think there are a lot of young women in this community that could be inspired by your history and your experience and how you struggled to overcome. I mean, I don't hear you talking about your struggles, and I'm not going to take you there. But I know,
yes.
I know that, for you to be where you are now, that there's a history of struggle there.
Oh, no doubt.
What would you say to the young women and the young men of this community, the current generation of university students, high school students, elementary school? What would you say to inspire them to sink their roots in Tuskegee and contribute to that future?
You know, and that's an excellent question. I've answered it probably 1,000 times, if not more. In 1993, my sister and I started what we call the Muhammad Woody Motivational Ministry. And we did it at our high school, South Macon High School, before it closed. And, well, it was open from 93 till 2003. So for that 10-year period of time, we would go into that school and do our motivational ministry. And during those times, we answered that question to those students. We didn't come in there like we were some highfalutin people to try to, you know, impress on them. We started with the basics of how it is that we were raised in this community and with our parents. So we said, be obedient to your parents. God has given you them to help you in this life with that you don't know. Then the next step is take that same level of obedience to school with you, to your church, among those people that care about you. And know too that nobody is perfect. You know, everyone makes mistakes. But for the goodness that you can receive from others, receive it and make it a part of your life. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't be who you have a desire in your heart to be.
All right.
Because that could be made better, and you can do those things that you desire to be. Stay mindful of who you are, be concerned about others, and do the best that you can do always. And that would be the message that I would give.
Well, I want to thank you for that, and I hope that that message reaches a lot of our young people who need a message of hope. And I also want to take this opportunity to wish you great success, and I'm going to say when you return to City Council. I look forward to your leadership. I look forward to the city benefiting from you taking that fire and touching the lives of the folk of Tuskegee and Macon County. God bless you. We wish you great success. And thank you very much for visiting with us today.
And thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I want to thank you for joining us today. And I hope that you got some great insight from our interview with Attorney Lateefah Muhammad, the candidate for Tuskegee City Council District Number 1. And I hope that you will realize that it is important to support the best in leadership. Thank you. Join us next time.